So here's the fire turkey. Literally fresh off the docks. I've done basically nothing since pulling it off the trailer. There is a chrome bumper, I do have that. Actually, it looks pretty good. I don't know why they didn't leave it on the car. eBay pictures had it bolted up, but they took it off and shoved it inside for reasons, American reasons. The paint is obviously knackered, but I'm not massively worried about that. It's not, doesn't seem to be full of filler. These are obviously fiberglass, I think. Might be ABS of some sort. There's a bit of rust here, but I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. See, the trunk lock is missing, so it's a screwdriver job. No seal on the trunk, but all of the seals are buggered. Everything that's plastic is old. It's a boot full of bits. The boot floor doesn't look great, but I'm not sure that's a huge problem. There's a repair panel there, and a box of rusty bits and bobs. I'm not sure how useful any of that is. Tail lights don't look too bad. Press the button by accident. Tail lights don't look too bad. The whole car is filthy. So the repair panel in the boot was for that corner down here, which looks like I welded it, or Stevie Wonder maybe. Someone has bolted on some Trans Am bits, so looks like it had the rear spoiler for a while, but these must be new. There's some at the front as well. So there, Pontiac badge is missing. All the window seals absolutely mullered. No lacquer on the roof. It's been sitting out in the sun for some time. In fact, the I guess the equivalent of tax in California ran out in end of 2000, so it's sat for 23 years at least. It's got some very odd shocks on it. Whether I can get under it. I don't know what that's about. There's like a hose coming from it and some spiders. Nests. Hopefully, whatever can live in California is dead by now. It's got this goes off to the rear shocks. There's one on each side. I can say something on it. 25 min. So I guess you can pump up the shocks, which is weird. I've never seen that before. Bushes making a break for freedom. It's not a massive drama. I was planning on doing all the suspension anyway. I think that is a 10 bolt rear diff. Again, doesn't really matter. Planning on putting something more substantial and limited slip on there. A couple of cherry bombs. Again, they'll come off one day. Fuel tank doesn't look too bad actually. whether it's got anything in it. Bit of a voyage of discovery. Wheels look alright, not that they're staying. Gonna need something a bit wider. So someone has bought, so this is just a straight Firebird Esprit, and someone has bought some Trans Am bits for it. Like I said, the rear wing looks like it's been on there a while. The wings, all fenders, bonnet, and it seems the front nose cone as well is got off another car. It did have the fender vents on the side when I bought it, but the bloke I bought it from didn't bother to bolt them in, so they fell off on the way here, which is quite annoying. Everything seems like it's been just bolted together really quickly to get rid of it, to get it sold. Like the none of this is bolted in, which I obviously didn't know. I do have the front valance. I don't have the air dam that goes underneath, so I'm looking for that. I think I found one in Swindon of all places, so we'll see how that goes. This nose cone is some weird rubber, so that painting that might be interesting. And it's obviously, it's had a repair on one side. That's where it so I think that's where it bolts up to the car. I do have the shaker hood jobby, but it's metal, and it attaches to the engine, which is obviously in a bit of a state, so that's going to have to stay off for a minute. Got a load of air conditioning gubbins which is going to come out on the left. Now it did have valve covers on it, but they weren't bolted up, and it looks to me like there's some forestry going on in there, so it's been open to the elements at some point for a while. Valve covers look quite shiny, so I don't know what the crack is with that. Maybe it's to do with the person that was trying to get it going. They've had the fan off. I can't move it with a breaker bar. It's totally locked up. I have put some ATF in the cylinders. I'm going to shove some penetrating oil down there and see if I can get it to move. Ideally, I'd be able to use this engine for a bit before putting someone else in it. I didn't take the HT leads off. That's how I found it. Basically, all the wiring is knackered. New bonnet hinges though, so not bad. It's supposed to have some triangulation spars across here on both sides, so they're missing, and there's supposed to be a panel at the front holding the radiator in, which is gone. You can see someone's used some new bolts down here to bolt the front up. Everything that's plastic is absolutely shagged. That's okay. That's just the washers, windscreen washers. So I can do something about that. We've got a Quadrajet 4-barrel, which is not factory, and some, what's that called? Tonka intake. So someone did something to it one day. There's a new return spring there, which is another reason why I think someone has had a go at it, getting it running. That carb looks quite rusty, and I'm not sure whether it's going to be full of water. I did stick a boroscope down the bores, and they had like white furry stuff in, which I presume is corrosion. Aluminium can corrosion, or whatever the pistons are made of. Not full of water, so that's a good sign. I'm planning to drop the oil and see what the score is with that. If it's full of water, then I may not bother trying to get it running. So inside, got nasty door cards, but at least this one is complete. I'm going to recover that. The idea is to make the inside quite nice, recover stuff, and make it go as well, which would be good. So obviously it's an auto TH350. It's missing an accelerator pedal, which is weird, but okay. Nothing's bolted in. The floors, I haven't had much time to actually have a look. I'm gonna do a bit of digging today and hoover the thing out. See what we've got. There's a fuse box down there. All the electrics are pretty much dead. I did connect a battery. I didn't do very much at all. No lights. But I expect that all the wires look massively buggered, so I guess that's to be expected. It's going to need some dials. Now the dash I thought looked pretty good, and then I discovered that this is a cover. So actually the dash does not look good, but I'm going to fix that and recover it. It doesn't look that difficult. I guess we'll find out. Has a center console, we'll recover that. Obviously these seats, the mileometer says 82,000 miles. I don't think that's the case. Looking at that. Yeah, they didn't bother bolting the seats back in, why would you? The rear doesn't look too bad. I haven't had a massive amount of time to look at it. It's got all the panels, which is good. Again, I'll paint or recover them or something. Looks like it's had window tint on the back once upon a time. And the roof lining actually looks really good. It's got things inside it, but I mean, it's a horrible colour. So I don't know how long it'll stay like that, but you don't usually see roof linings like that on 50-year-old cars. We are missing a door panel on the other side. There's bits of it in the trunk. So let's see how we go. I think it's missing the top bit that goes over like the shoulder of the door. So we'll see if I can find one of those for reasonable money. This is obviously all the varnish is coming off of that. I think that's vinyl, it's not wood. So take that out, recover it when I do the dash. Door seals, not in great shape. You can buy kits, you can buy everything really. Just got to get it from America, mostly. I think some parts are available in the UK, but there aren't too many of these actually in the country, so not going to hold my breath. There's a massive great gap there. Yeah, seems to be a bit of damage on either side, sort of parking dings and scrapes. I guess that's to be expected again, 50-year-old car. I don't think that I haven't found any filler. It seems pretty solid, which is good. There is a bit of rust on the other side. If I can get to it. Down there. So I expect there's a sort of a box section in there that's probably a bit rotten. But I can ignore that, I expect. The window gutters. Don't look too bad at the back. I think from memory the front needs a bit of attention on the other side, but needs a bit of a clean. There's a bit of chipping over here. That doesn't look too bad. It's always worse than it looks, but that really doesn't look very bad. Ooh, beasties. Ew. To get the hoover out and remove some of the wildlife, or ex-wildlife. Got a wiper motor over there that looks like it's had better days, but I'm not what that white thing on the top of it is. It's like a vacuum connection or something for some weird reason. The coil is just hanging down the back here. Oh. It's hanging around down there. Looks like it's 1,000,000 years old. It does have a resistor on it. So I can test that, see if it works. Doubt it. Coils aren't expensive. More worried about getting the thing actually turning. Focus. Someone has unhooked the fuel supply for some reason, and the power steering fluid is empty, coolant is empty, radiator's obviously been out recently. I'm not sure if the engine has been out and just dumped back in for sale. It doesn't look like it. Like some of the alternators wired up and the heat hoses and stuff. So I doubt that it's a boat anchor that's just been thrown in for sale. But, like I say, the end goal is a 6-litre Chevy, so it doesn't really matter. But it'd be nice if I could get it running and move it around a bit. Getting it on the road would be quite useful, to be honest. It's going to need some lights. Brakes do something. I expect I'll need to refurb the drums. Again, it's not a massive drama. Drums aren't the end goal either. They'll have discs all round eventually. So there you go. It's going to be some work, I think. So the floor pans are the sound deadening just sort of flaked off, which is quite handy. After a hoover and a bit of a go with a poking stick, there are a couple of holes. Now, I'm not sure if this has been done once already, because it looked a little bit double skinned on this side. And on the other side, which is a bit that I actually knew about, you can see over there in the corner, that looks like an bit of an old panel. So I think maybe it's had some work in the past, which I guess you can expect. 50 years. I think it looks a bit worse than it is because of the 70s brown on the whole. I'm not too upset about that. Ideally, I'd put both floor pans and float both toe boards in. This panel and this panel are separate. And they're just sort of spot riveted together on this seam there. There's a bit up there which is unfortunate. That's going to might be slightly more difficult, but see if I can get panels. Might be cost prohibitive to ship them, but we'll see. Oh, and I took the dash cover off, so you can see the state of the dash, which is a bit of a surprise. I didn't know that. I probably should have expected it. But I think I can fix that. I think I can add foam, and fit it, and then cover it. But yeah, otherwise the floors, actually, they're not bad. There's nothing in the back that I can see. There's going to be something over there, but poking stick hasn't found anything yet, because that's where the rust is on the outside. But that all looks absolutely solid. The steel is really thick in most places anyway, apart from the front of the floor. I haven't found any mouse nests, which is good. I did find an insect nest under the dash, but the mice haven't been living in here, so that's a good thing.